the current leadership, the Taliban, um, can we trust them? You've known Taliban commanders, you've interacted with Taliban commanders. Our impression of the Taliban is when IC 814 was hijacked, was on the tarmac in Kandahar, but we were only looking at images. You were interacting with them, you secured the release of our people. So our impression is that these are guys who are very close to Pakistan, and they'll stab us in the back.
Uh, Gaurav, international relations always and interstate relations proceed on the basis of interests. They don't proceed on the basis of trust. There are moments in time when interests coincide, and because they coincide, an entity and a state or two states work together. Let's take the Second World War. I think it's a prime example. You had the Soviets
Yeah.
and the
Western Bloc coming together.
Western Bloc were together against Nazi Germany. What happened almost immediately after the Second World War was won by the Soviets and the Americans and the British? They fell apart and the Cold War ensued. So they were together when the interests coincided, and they went away when the interests diverged.
But
And so with the, I'll just add one sentence. With the Taliban, there was a period when our interests were not coinciding; they were diverging, and we were close to the Northern Alliance. We were then close to uh, the uh, the Afghan Republic. We were helping the Afghan Republic in every which way we could. Uh, at that stage too, and this is significant. And this is something which led me to write, to begin writing from February of 2017, that we should start talking to the Taliban. Because all through the period that I dealt with Afghanistan, we got stray messages from the Afghan Taliban relayed through different quarters that basically emphasizing that India should never consider them as Pakistani puppets.
are they?
Well, they've demonstrated they are not. And that is the point they were making. And then I think beginning from about 2015, uh, Taliban leadership in Doha, those who were in track 2 circuits, etc., whenever they met Indians in the strategic community, always sought them out and tried to convey through them messages to Delhi that, look, again emphasizing the same thing, that they were independent, that there was a reason why they were dependent on the Pakistanis, but that India should never think that this dependence would continue or that they were hostile to us.
And if we were to go back to history, and you've written about this, when Pakistan was created, the only country in the world to oppose the creation of Pakistan was Afghanistan.
Indeed, and there was a reason for it. And that reason is still alive today too. The reason is that the British literally forced the Duran line, which the Pakistanis now say is the international border between Afghanistan and Pakistan, in which the Afghan successive governments, all governments who've been in Kabul since 1947 and earlier, have never accepted that as the border. So, in 1947, prior to the departure of the British, the Afghans told the British that, look, this agreement for the Duran line was between the government of Afghanistan and between Amir Abdul Rahman Khan, who was then the ruler of Afghanistan, and it was done in 1893, and British India. And since the British were leaving, this agreement fell. And therefore, Afghanistan and its should be restored to what were its original boundaries, which were really along the Indus. You see, the Pathan, and this is interesting, the Pathan or the Pashtun has always thought that the land between the two rivers, which is the Indus and the Amu Darya or the Oxus, is actually their
Afghanistan.
land.
Yeah.
No, their land.
Their land. Yeah.
Now, this is not agreed to by the other ethnicities in Afghanistan. It's not accepted by the Tajiks. It's not accepted by the Hazaras or the Uzbeks. But this is instilled in the Pakistan
In Afghan.
in the Pashtun mind, including the Pashtuns. If I dare say, if you scratch them deep enough, the Pashtuns of Pakistan.
Yeah.
One last point. There is a contradiction between people who are on opposite banks of the Indus, which is once you cross the Indus towards Afghanistan, then the people become different, customs become different, ways of life become different. And even though the Pakistan state may have co-opted these people, in the Pashtun mind, as indeed, if I may say, in the Baluch mind and the Sindhi mind, Pakistan at the end of the day is considered as a Punjabi dominated country,
Which it is.
which it is.